visitation center, so parents don't have to go to the DCFS office. They could come to one of my centers and have visitation. Because I know when I was in the DCF office, it was awful. They throw you into a nasty, dirty little room, and they don't give you any advice. They don't give you any tips. They don't give you a shred of help or information to help you keep your bond and to get through this time. And that's because they don't want to reunify you and your kids. Simple as that. So I've decided that I was going to build a reunification center, and we'll have themed rooms, and there's a kitchen if you want to cook with your children, because cooking and eating is bonding. It's really important. And I'm also traveling to Mississippi to give a lecture with a sitting dependency court judge to the county workers on what it's like to have your child removed falsely, and why removal should be the last thing, because lately it's the first thing. So that's what I do for a living, and that's why a judge said that I needed to be supervised with my daughter, because of what I do for a living. That's it. So I have to file, or I have filed, um, paperwork to have him removed from my case. I don't know about you, but I think that is a horrible reason to put somebody on supervised visitation. He never looked once at my evidence. He never looked once at anything that I said or submitted. He told me to shut up in the middle of my speaking. He asked me for proof of something, so I went to give him proof of service, and he's like, I don't want that anymore. Time's up. He also told me that I am not a mother to my daughter. I'm not my daughter's mother right now, because my ex-husband has a restraining order. Now, he got a restraining order against me to further his litigation abuse, to get leverage in custody of our daughter, because he didn't want to pay child support and alimony at the same time. So, because I don't, because I have a restraining order against me, which I have a hearing to get rid of, but since I have a restraining order against me, I'm not a mother to my daughter in this judge's eyes. Now, of course, Mario failed to let the court know that when he filed for a restraining order, he filed it on like a Monday, and I wasn't served until 5 days later. And that whole time, until the sheriff served me, he was having sex with me, telling me we're gonna get back together, we're gonna go see a therapist, blah 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 blah. And then when the sheriff served me, that was it. He's failed to mention that he's let me talk to my daughter on a different phone number at the holidays when we were in dependency court. And now he has literally relocated, and I have missed 30 of my parenting time visits, our court ordered visitation, 30 of them. We've been out of dependency court for 10 months, and out of those 10 months, I've missed 7 months. I told this to the judge. I submitted the proper paperwork for contempt. No, he threw it out, didn't even look at it. So I was told that I wasn't my daughter's mother because of a restraining order. I was told that I needed to be supervised because he didn't like my job, and my job is helping other parents get their children back. And I was told to shut up, and I was told that I was not allowed to object to anything. I could disagree, but he didn't want it going on the legal record. So I objected to that. And I continued to object, and he got angry with me. I went home from court and filed some more contempt of court court charges against my ex-husband, because after that, he missed 3 more visits. And then I filed a complaint about the judge, and I filed a motion to have him removed from my case, and so on and so forth. It's a hi Jessica, sorry, I just saw you. Yes, everybody can ask for a new judge. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I think it's under Penal Code 170. You can ask for a new judge. Everybody gets a go at a new judge. You don't have to prove bias or anything. Even though I can, I have the court transcripts, and those always get those, because the minute orders don't tell you anything. You want the transcripts. And if there's not a court reporter in the court when you go in, I suggest that you ask for them to just wait until you can get one. Because nobody would believe me if I said I was told I wasn't allowed to object to improper introduction of evidence, to hearsay, to falsified documents, to just plain absurdity. So I'm sure I am not the only person that's having these issues with the courts, but this is the first time in family court that I had a problem with a judge. Now, I've had problems with caseworkers, obviously. Social workers, I expect it. If I don't have a problem with them or they don't have a problem with me, I'm not doing my job. But if a judge who's supposed to be impartial, who is supposed to look at the evidence that's presented to him and rule on that, isn't doing it, then I don't know what. So I have 3 more hearings coming up. Contempt of court. I'm actually filing an emergency ex parte, and I don't know if they're going to allow it, but hell, I might as well try, to get off of these supervised visits, because it is $4,000 a month to have supervised visit with as much time as that I have with my child. Now, the judge didn't take away any of my time, so I still have a lot of hours every week with my child. 12 hours here, 6 hours there, 3 hours there, $100 an hour. $100 an hour. And since my ex is being weird, he doesn't want to drop our daughter off to me at my house. So we have to pay for the monitor to pick up our daughter and drive her, which is another $80 a visit. So when I open up my reunification centers, I'm not charging families. There's all kinds of grants and stuff that I'm working on to get. I went through this, and nobody should have to decide whether they're going to pay their rent or they're going to see their child. Luckily, the judge said that my ex had to pay 50-50, but still, $100 an hour. And then, of course, it's holidays. If there's holidays, it's double. So, say on our Sundays, 6 hours on a Sunday, $600. If it happens to be a holiday, which Christmas this year is going to be on a Sunday, it's $1,200. I won't be on this much longer. Like I said, I am going to file an ex parte. Normally, they won't hear visitation on an emergency hearing, but I'm going to try anyways, because it's either pay the rent or see my child. Now, I have a son who's terminally ill, and this affects my son as well. So if I lose my home, then my son who's terminally ill loses his home. So he's not just punishing me because he didn't like my bow tie I was wearing when I went to court. Um, my my children are all being affected. It's insane. Has anybody else been told that their job was inappropriate? Their job put their child at risk? Um, Also, Mario had opened up a divorce case in Riverside County, and we have our separation in San Bernardino County. You're not allowed to do that. But he did it anyways. And so when the judge took away my my custody, I said, okay. I let Riverside, my divorce case, go into default, which gave me back my custody, my visitation, child support, alimony, all of this stuff. So I just let that go ahead and be granted. It canceled out San Bernardino County, and the San Bernardino County judge didn't like that. He said, well, he's taking jurisdiction of my case, and that if I don't like it, I can call the other judge and facilitate a meeting between the two judges about my case. I'm not a lawyer, but I know that I'm not allowed to contact a judge and say, hey, can you call this judge over here? So he was pissed that I outmaneuvered him, I guess. And my bow tie. I don't think he liked my bow tie. Some people hate it. I like it. But I digress. So, family court is a whole different beast than dependency court. And dependency court's a nightmare. Get out of dependency court because you can blink and your children are gone. What happened to me and what is happening to me is really rare. And I'm assuming it's because they don't like the fact that I'm helping other parents. Well, tough. I'm not going to stop. I don't know if he doesn't think that, I don't know what he thinks or what he doesn't think. I can't make sense of it. You take away someone's child because you don't like their job, and their job is to help other parents. He asked me what qualifications I have. And in the middle of me telling him my qualifications, he told me to shut up. Literally shut up. I have certificates in sorry. I have certificates in child welfare, domestic violence, in juvenile justice, child and family mediation, and supervised visitation. Like I said, I'm opening up a visitation center. I also worked for Mr. Davis for a year and a half, doing reunification on his show with him. I'm currently helping public defenders in dependency court around the country. I'm helping their clients. I'm going to Mississippi to speak and give a lecture with the sitting dependency court judge. I run my own 501c3. Like I said, I have 3 books. My daughter wrote a book with me. And in the middle of answering his question, he told me to shut up. So, that sucks. But I'm not going to stop helping. If you guys need help, email me here, call me here, message me here. You can go to my website. It's Transformation Through Reunification. You can book an appointment with me, and I will help you. I have single-handedly helped 15 families reunify by myself, with nothing else other than me helping. I help with supervised visitation. That's my expertise. That's where I shine. I have boxes that you can order, age appropriate. It's like a visit in a box. Patents pending on that, but it's good for grandparents that are coming to visit. It's good for parents that don't know how to get started. If you're locally, I'll come and sit with you at court. So when you walk out of court, you're not sitting there by yourself. I will come to your house and I will help you prep for an inspection. I will do whatever I can to help other parents get their children back or keep their children. Now, hopefully you don't get the judge in family court in San Bernardino County that I got. I saw this judge hear this dad say, yes, you told me I'm not allowed to drink with my kid, but I got a DUI last week with my kid in the car and not take away any of his custody. Now, there's some chit chat that they're overcorrecting with not giving dads enough time in the past. That now it's like they don't want to be seen as, just going with the mom because moms are better. So a lot of my clients are moms who have been branded mentally ill, who are not, will provide actual evidence from doctors that they do not have a mental illness, and it doesn't matter. The judge doesn't even read it. I know the judge didn't read it in my case because I asked him 2 or 3 questions, and he obviously didn't read what was in front of him because the way he answered my questions. Now, yes, they were trick questions, but I had a feeling that he didn't even read what I wrote. Didn't care to. So, if you guys need help, I'm here to help. I'm still helping. I will never stop helping. I will never, ever stop fighting for other parents. I'm going on a talk show soon. It's a nationwide talk show. And sorry, there was a commotion outside, and I hit the mute button. But you can email me, erincarranza247 at gmail.com, or email me here at Facebook. You can book an appointment with me. But I am trying to get back to all of you. All of your emails are important. I have a lot of spam to sift through and a lot of really inappropriate messages from dudes. Guys, stop doing that. And but I'm trying. Hopefully I'll be able to get an assistant soon. And I am currently working with another law firm doing their reunification. So if I don't get back to you right away, I will get back to you. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Oh, I am doing shows, so if anybody wants to come on, please email me. Email me a little bit about your case. We can get way more in depth on the phone, and then of course when we go live. So just give me the basics, basically, what happened, when it happened, and what you're dealing with now. Where are you now? It's really shitty that we're going through this, and like I said, I want to help anybody that needs it. So if you want to come on my show, if you want to have help with a visit, if you want someone to talk to, you need someone to come to court with you just to sit outside I will come sit with you in my sparkly high heels and be supportive to you. Now, I have testified in court as a witness, as an expert witness, in dependency court here in San Bernardino, which is a big deal. I'm pretty crazy about the idea, actually. So I was called to talk about a parent's progress in the reunification phase. And it was nice to be able to give somebody a voice because, as most of us know, you don't have a voice in dependency court. You take my child, but I am not allowed to speak. It's insane. So I was able to talk about the progress that was made with the client. And courts love to see the mistake that was made. In my case, I tried to take my own life. So they love to focus on what happened, but they never, ever, ever look at, one, what caused it to happen, and two, what's happened since then. They don't care. They don't care if you made progress. They don't care if you teach other parents how to reunify. I'm like the gold standard for benefiting from services. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If they want your kid, they're going to take your fucking kid. The only thing that's going to stop it is if we change legislation and we educate parents, and not just parents that have been affected, parents that have not been affected by DCFS, CFPS. Nothing is going to change until that happens. So, I don't know if you guys have any questions for me. Any, I don't know. But yeah, so that's where I've been. I've been dealing with this. I've been up to my eyeballs with it. So judges told me to shut up and not object. I objected anyways. Now get your court transcripts. In San Bernardino County, you can expedite it. Mine was almost $300 to get the transcripts from a month. It was going to take 4 to 6 weeks, and it was $155. To have it expedited, it was almost $300, but it brought it down to 5 to 7 business days. And I needed that because I need to submit it for my appeal. So I'm going to appeal, of course. I'm going to appeal the ruling that the judge put me on supervised visitation and making me pay for it because he doesn't like my job. Okay. So, get that. If you're in dependency court, get your delivered service logs. Your 262 notes in San Bernardino County. Delivered service logs. They are like a diary that DCFS, CPS keep. They have to keep it for federal funding. Mine changed the tide of my case. My caseworker said that my visits were awful, but my monitor said something different. So I was able to prove that my caseworker was messing with the records and was messing with the input. So I would have a really great visit. My monitor, who was a lifesaver, thank you, Ozzy, still thank you, would write, fantastic visit, blah, 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 blah. Then he would submit it to his boss, my caseworker, and my caseworker would be like, no, terrible visit, detriment, blah, blah, blah. So get your delivered service logs. Now I hear lots of hate on public defenders. I didn't like mine at first, but I was able to refocus her and shift how she looked at my case. I can help you guys do that too. And she ended up fighting for my daughter like she was her own niece. You have to remember that they're people too. Yes, they are employed by the county. Yes, they get paid by the county. But that doesn't mean that they're all on the side of the county. Now, county counsel is, because that literally is their attorney. So don't ever think that county counsel is going to even speak to you, because they have no need to. They have no reason to. Minors counsel won't speak to you either. Um, Minors counsel, in my case, wanted reunification right at the beginning. And of course, the county DCFS blocked it. But typically, minors counsel is the most powerful person in the courtroom. So a lot of people are like, why can't I speak to the county council or to minors council? They have this image of me. They have this portrayal of me that I'm this bad parent, and you just can't. That's why you have an attorney. That's why they give you an attorney. So try to refocus your attorney. Write him an email and describe what's happened in your case. All the major points. Hit all of these things that are happening to you. What turned the tide for my case was the the babysitter that was driving my daughter back and forth to my visits was literally smoking weed and driving my kid around. I told my social worker, they didn't care. They opened an investigation and said it was unfounded, even though my monitor opened up the car door to get my daughter in the car and smoke came out. Yeah, literal pot smoke. But it was unfounded. Why? I don't know. Because they liked my husband better. It was a popularity contest. So get your delivered service logs. All you have to do is subpoena them. Well, your attorney can subpoena them. And it will help you in the future when you go to sue DCFS, which I'm doing for the false removal of my daughter. Delivered service logs. Refocus your attorney. Write down all the egregious things, the main things. I know that it tends to become this really long email. You don't want that. You want very quick to the point. This is what's happening. This is what shouldn't be happening. Like, I should be getting overnights now. Why am I not? Or my daughter is being abused in foster care. What is happening? I know it's really hard not to get emotional, but you can't get emotional. Because then they'll be like, look, she's crazy. She's crying. I was told that if I cried, I was going to be arrested. You take away my child and tell me not to cry? I'd be worried about the parent that wasn't crying, not the parent that was clearly distraught. So, and like I said a bunch of times, I'm here if you guys need any help. I will get back to you as soon as I can. I am working for a law firm at the moment, again, and we have family law. We have a family law department, criminal law, probate, all that good stuff. So if you do need an attorney, send me an email, and I will point you in the right direction. If you need to help redirect your attorney, I can help you do that too. But I just want to let you guys know this is what I'm doing. I haven't been on lately. I've been working and trying to get this craziness to stop. I think I need to add another chapter to my book. It's called Out of the Pan and into the Out of the Fire and into the Pan, because family court is like, ugh. Who gets to miss 30 visits and not even get a finger wagged at? Hell, if I missed one visit, I'd be done for. So, don't give up. Take a deep breath when they talk to you. Do not talk to caseworkers unless it's by text or email. Do not speak to them on the phone. Everything through writing. Don't think that you're friends. DCFS told me they had no problem They had no problem taking my daughter. I mean, they had no problem leaving my daughter with me. And then 2 days later, they came and removed her illegally without a warrant. Now, I didn't know you had to have a warrant because I'd never been in a situation. But I literally have them on video, which I posted of my interview. They didn't know I was recording. But I was in my house and I had signs that says, "Smile, you're on camera. We have no problem leaving your daughter with you, Mrs. Carranza. You look fantastic. You're doing wonderful. I feel safe with this." 2 days later, they also didn't know that I recorded my daughter's interview on a nanny cam. They were literally trying to get my daughter to say that I was abusing her. My daughter's 5, and they were trying to get her to say that mommy hit her or spanked her or choked her. I didn't. And my daughter didn't say that. Thankfully, she's my daughter. But, kids are people pleasers, and they will say what they need to make the adults in the room happy. And DCFS uses that and preys on your children. So, I know it's hard for you, but I can't even imagine how hard it is for them. So keep it together. Do your services. Sorry, I'm in my office, and my office is in my garage. So that's my niece. Okay, so I'm on my 60 trial with my daughter. 18 months review was in May, but due to my SW, social worker, not making the proper notes, the minor's attorney asked for a continuance. Now, after doing everything, having her home, they want to do a family maintenance plan due to the social worker not seeing my daughter enough, and the child attorney investigator hasn't made a home visit. I've made 2 different appointments and she's canceled them both times. That's fucked up. Sorry, I was reading. I don't know if you heard me because of my niece, but I was reading a comment from one of my viewers, and they never came to visit my house. And why did they never come? Because they never planned on giving her back. They were pissed I got my kid back. They never thought I was going to be able to do it, but I did it. So you have to tell your attorney that they are canceling your home visits. They want to do all this extra stuff because of their screw up, not yours. Make sure you put that in the email. Very, very simply worded, couple of sentences. What do I do? I suggest not speaking to them without your attorney present or knowing about it, but you want to make sure that you let your attorney know that they are canceling the visits because they can speak to minors counsel. Your attorney can speak to minors counsel and can speak to county counsel. Just you can't personally. Your public defender can. So make sure you address that, get that in writing so it doesn't backfire on you. So they can't twist it and say, "Oh, well, no home visit, no blah, 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 blah." Everything in writing, document everything, 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 everything. And hopefully that will help. Hope is a hard thing to have in dependency court. When you take someone's child, you take away everything. And the only way I was able to get through it was just to change my perspective. I was thankful that they were doing this. I was grateful that they were doing that. I was grateful that the babysitter was driving around with my kid getting high. I know it sounds weird, but that way I was able to prove that I wasn't some crazy stalker, that was just obsessed with my husband when I'm with somebody else. My ex-husband still trying to say that I want anything to do with him, and I have been with this amazing man for um, a year and a half now. My boyfriend's amazing. I don't want to have anything to do with my ex except for to have to be a good parent to our daughter. But it doesn't fit the narrative of me being like this loose cannon mom. Um, their therapist, their psychiatrist, all said that Aaron's good. The only person that said differently was my husband at the time, and DCFS decided to pick that parent and run with it. So now they're getting sued. Um, Jessica said that she has spoken to her attorney and she's taking it to trial. Good. Have your attorney get your delivered service logs as well. She has to subpoena them. Takes a couple of days. That will get you an idea of where your case is going and what they're planning on doing. Now, there's exculpatory evidence in there, so you want to get them. You can't see them as a parent, but your attorneys can. And they can submit them on record, and then you can come in and use them to sue later on down the line. But your main focus is get your children back. And then you come around and spank them later. So, I hope my little 40-minute rant helped somebody out there. And like I said, email me if you want to come on my show. I'm going to start interviewing. I also have a new page with my really good friend and therapist, Brian Hamilton. It's called Beacons of Hope, Advocates for Families in Separation. Now, it's not just for dependency court, it's parental alienation, you know, all the whole spectrum of being in separation from your child. You don't really realize how much and what contributes to a separation. And CPS are really good at parental alienation. That's another topic for another day. I will have a doctor on who is an expert in separation and in parental alienation. I'll let you guys know with a post when that doctor is going to come on live, and we'll take questions. It says, how do you, Jen said, how do you sue DCFS? I have my children back, and it's been closed since February of this year. Okay, so you have 2 years. You have 2 years to bring a lawsuit in federal court. You have to get an attorney. I think, no, I take that back. You could represent yourself pro se, but it's so complicated that you need an attorney. Like I said, I'm suing, and I'm going to do it on my own. But my case is a little, I wouldn't say slam dunk, but they removed my child without a warrant. So, violation, But you have 2 years. Now your child has 2 years after, so your child can sue all the way up until 2 years after they turn 18. I'm suing on my daughter's behalf because it's totally devastated her too. It wasn't just me that was, physically ill because of what's happened. I mean, I have stress-induced Crohn's disease, and my heart stopped pumping blood to my brain when they took my daughter away. I was passing out. It's broken heart syndrome. I think that's what it's called. So, we have 2 years to file in a federal court. I highly, highly, highly suggest you get an attorney. If you need an attorney recommendation, send me an email and I can send you a couple of them. But yeah, so many people are starting to wake up and realize they need to sue, and it's too late. So you have 2 years from when your case is opened. 2 years. And you think, oh, that's a long time. No. Nope, it's not. I'm coming up on my 2-year mark here in 2 months, and I can't believe that it's already been 2 years. So, yeah, get an attorney. The kids are so traumatized. It's so heartbreaking. Now, don't get me wrong, there are children that definitely need to be removed and saved, but 80% of kids that are taken from good homes. Miscommunication. DCFS likes to use poverty to take away your child, or homelessness, which they're not allowed to do. They can't take away your kid because you don't have a home, because you're homeless. Nope. There's a difference between child abuse and poverty. And DCFS, it's the same thing in their minds, and it's not. But yeah, get an attorney. Redirect your public defender. If anything's happened in your case, file a 388 petition. A change of circumstance, whether it's good or bad. You have a new place to live. File a petition. I get annoying with my filing. I'm sorry you took my child. I want her back. So I got her back. But I had a family court judge say to me, "You've only been out of dependency court for 10 months. Why are you back here asking for more time with your child?" What the fuck? Are you serious? I didn't know that there was a time frame where I had to sit and wait. There's a waiting period after dependency court. After I was given my parental rights back, after I was granted 50-50 custody, I'm supposed to wait some more so I can be in separation longer with it? No, no, no. Fuck that. No. You're going to give me my kid back. So I'm fighting that, and I will continue to fight until my dying breath for my child and for your children. I will help you as best I can. But like I said, I'm not an attorney. I'm just a reunification coach, mother, victim, advocate. But I'm here. I can help you. I hope. I hope this helped. Now I'm running out of things to say. I'm sure as soon as I turn this off, I'll be like, oh yeah. And then this happened, and this happened. But reach out if you need to. If you want to come on my show, let me know. I will definitely give you a platform to tell your side of the story. Parents are never ever listened to. Ever. Ever. So if I can give you, an outlet for an hour to say what's on your mind, I will. So I hope you guys have a good Saturday, and I am going to go swim some laps because it's hot as hell here. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and let me know if you guys need help. Bye bye.